Today I'm gonna show you how to create this glass looking text effect. So without further ado, let's start. So in my timeline I got this graphic and let's put a text on top of it. So from effects, titles, search for text plus. I will drag it to the timeline. And in the inspector, let's write something like text. I think the effect looks better when the text is bolder and bigger. So let's adjust that. And now we need to jump into Fusion. In Fusion page, you got media out, our template, which is the text, and we need a background node. So let me drag it from this panel. Let's disconnect this media out. So double click this line and connect to media out. The background by default is black, so let's make it transparent. So drag the alpha to 0. So let's merge our text over the background. So drag the output and release it on the output of the background node. Like so, that will create a merge node. And right now we can see our text that is actually composed on top of the transparent background. Okay? If you don't see this navigation panel, this navigation window, just tap V on keyboard. This navigation window is very handy. Right now what I'm gonna do is select my template, which is the text, and open selection tool, so shift space and search for displace node, that one. And add. It should be added right after your template, like so. And now what you need to do is to connect the output of the template and connect it with the green input of the displace. Once you have your displace node selected in the inspector, make sure you switch from radial to X and Y. Now to see the whole effect, you need to go to media out and select mix. In that case, you will see the background picture that we got in our timeline. If you don't do that, you will see only your composition. So it's better to work with the final result so you are sure how it will look at the end. So let me switch it to mix. Now go to template and in the shading tab, by the way, if you don't know how the shading tab is working, I strongly recommend you to check out this tutorial when I explain exactly what those elements mean. Okay, so in the shading tab, go to color and change it to gradient and click the second end of this shading gradient and change the color to black or almost black. I like to keep it somewhere around here, so it's almost black. Now let me preview my template on the left. So just select it and tap 1 on the keyboard. Okay, now go back to displace node and increase light power. But I suggest to something like 100 or even more. Maybe something like 150. Okay, let me zoom. And you can also increase spread, but just a tiny bit, something like that. Now go to the template and select the first triangle of the shading node and make it transparent. So set alpha all the way down to 0. And let me check the second triangles, the second end of the shading grade. You can make the second color of your gradient transparent as well, all the way to the 0 or somewhere between. It all depends how you want this effect to be looking. I like to keep it somewhere here because I can see reflections of the color. Now we need to make this text more visible. So good idea would be to increase brightness of the background picture. So to do that, we need a mask that has the same shape that our text. So the easiest way to do it is to use our original text. So I will make a copy of it, Ctrl C, but I will paste it as an instance copy. So Ctrl Shift V. In my instance copy, in the inspector, I will go to shading. I will de-instance the type and I will switch it back to solid. So right now, if I preview it on the left, I can see the shape of my text, but in a plain color, so it can be used as a mask. Now I will make a copy, an instance copy of the displace node because I want this text to be displaced the same way as my original one, so that, you know, the mask is one-to-one to our text. So let me make a copy, Ctrl Shift V, and I will connect it the same way as my template text. Let me preview the instance of the displace. As you see, we get also displace on our mask. And now we can mask our background, so just grab the ending of the displace node and connect it with the blue input, like so. So if you preview our background node, we see nothing because it's transparent, but if you change back the alpha to 1, you can see that we've masked out the background, so now it's only the black text, but we want the opposite of it. So in the settings tab, choose apply mask inverted. So now if we go back to color tab, we can decrease back the alpha and actually control how bright the background we want. So right now the text is much better visible. So we are done now in Fusion page. We can go back to edit page. In here I will move my text up. From the effects, I will add between adjustment clip and I will apply blur. So in OpenFX, I will search for Gaussian. And we can also animate a bit this text. So let me go back to the Fusion page. And in the template, you simply animate mapping angle. So it moves like that. So just make a first keyframe at frame number 0. And maybe here just move it just a bit so it's not too fast. And the whole effect is a bit animated. Okay guys, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching till the end. Hope you've learned something, hope you like that. Check out my high impact dynamic title animations. Hopefully you'll find something suitable for your current project. See you in the next one, cheers!